What if I told you the world's first detective story was unborn on the foggy streets of London, but decades earlier, in the mind of a master of the macabre? And what if that story held a strange, dark mirror to one of history's most terrifying unsolved mysteries? Today, we're journeying back in time, to a place where literary genius and real-life horror collide. We're talking Edgar Allan Poe, Sherlock Holmes, and the chilling enigma of Jack the Ripper. It's 1888. The Whitechapel district of London is paralyzed by fear. A shadowy figure, known only as Jack the Ripper, is committing a series of brutal murders. The police are baffled, the public is terrified, and the newly formed press is having a field day, splashing every gruesome detail across the front pages. It's a scene straight out of a nightmare, a real-life horror story unfolding under the At the very same time, another figure is capturing the public's imagination, but for entirely different reasons. From his flat at 2-1 B Baker Street, the brilliant Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, is solving the most complex puzzles with logic, deduction, and an almost superhuman intellect. Holmes represents order in a world of chaos. He is the ultimate rational mind, a hero who can always find the answer, no matter how tangled the web of clues. The public, desperate for a hero in the face of the Ripper's chaos, couldn't get enough of him. It's fascinating, isn't it? While a real-life monster terrorized London, a fictional hero was providing a sense of comfort and control. But here's where the story takes an even more interesting turn. To understand Sherlock Holmes, and indeed, to understand the entire genre of detective fiction, we have to travel back even further. Before Holmes, before Conan Doyle, there was Edgar Allan Poe. In 1841, nearly half a century before Jack the Ripper's first murder, Poe published a short story called The Murders in the Rue Morgue. In this tale, set in Paris, a brutal double murder has the police completely stumped. The crime scene is a locked room, seemingly impossible to enter or exit. The violence is extreme, beyond human comprehension. It seems unsolvable. Sound familiar? But then, Poe introduces his hero. See August Dupin. Dupin is not a professional detective. In fact, the term detective barely existed yet. He is a gentleman of leisure, a man who uses pure, cold lajiwat. He calls ratiocination to solve the crime. He doesn't chase suspects through the streets. Instead, he sits in his armchair, analyzes the newspaper reports, and pieces together the puzzle from the comfort of his home. By examining the evidence, the strange hair found at the scene, the conflicting witness accounts of the killer's language, the incredible strength required to commit the crime, Dupin arrives at a conclusion so bizarre, so unexpected that no one else could have conceived it. The killer, he reveals, was not a person at all, but an escaped orangutan. It was a revolutionary idea. Poe had created a formula, a brilliant, eccentric amateur detective, a baffled police force, and a puzzle solved through intellect rather than brute force. He laid the blueprint for every detective story that would follow. Conan Doyle himself was a huge admirer of Poe. He openly admitted that Sherlock Holmes was inspired by C. August Dupin. Think about it. Both are brilliant, somewhat arrogant observers of human nature. Both have a less intellectual companion who chronicles their adventures. Dupin has his unnamed narrator, Holmes has Dr. Watson. Both solve crimes by seeing what others miss, by applying rigorous logic to seemingly random facts. Poe invented the game, and Conan Doyle perfected it, giving it a charismatic hero and a captivating London setting. Now, let's bring Jack the Ripper back into this picture. We have Poe's fictional blueprint for the detective story, where logic always triumphs. We have Sherlock Holmes, the popular embodiment of that ideal, solving crimes neatly within the pages of a book. And then we have the Ripper, the real-life locked room mystery that no one could solve. The parallels between the Ripper case and Poe's murders in the Rue Morgue are uncanny. Both involved horrific violence against women in a major city. In both cases, the police were completely lost. The public was gripped by a mixture of terror and fascination. The newspapers sensationalized the events, just as Dupin used newspaper accounts to solve his case. But here's the crucial difference. In Poe's world, Dupin provides a rational, albeit strange, solution. The mystery is solved, order is restored, In the real world of 1888, there was no C. August Duping. There was no Sherlock Holmes. The most brilliant minds of Scotland Yard and countless amateur sleuths were utterly defeated. The killer was never identified. The mystery was never solved. The file on Jack the Ripper remains open to this day. It's a terrifying reminder that reality doesn't always follow the neat narrative structure of a story. Real-life horror is often messy, illogical, and unresolved. It's almost as if history was presenting a direct challenge to the very idea of the detective story. Poe and Conan Doyle created a world where human intellect could conquer any evil. They gave us heroes who could look into the abyss and make sense of it. But Jack the Ripper was the abyss staring back, an enigma that defied all attempts at rush. He was the anti-Sherlock Holmes. While Holmes represented the comforting idea that every puzzle has a solution, the Ripper represented the horrifying truth that some questions may never be answered. This contrast is what makes this chapter of history so compelling. The birth of the detective genre offered a sense of order and justice. At the exact moment the world was witnessing a crime that seemed to defy all reason, people could escape the terrifying headlines about Whitechapel by diving into a story where the hero always won, where the clues always added up, and where the bad guy was always caught. It is a powerful demonstration of why we love stories. Provide the closure and justice that real life sometimes denies us. So, from a dark room in 1840s America, Edgar Allan Poe unleashed an idea. The power of the human mind to solve the darkest of puzzles. That idea evolved into Sherlock Holmes, a cultural icon who promised that logic would always prevail. And then, history itself threw down a gauntlet in the form of Jack the Ripper, a real-life villain who proved that sometimes the darkness wins, leaving behind only questions and a chilling silence. It's a fascinating, twisted tale connecting literary invention with brutal reality, showing us both the power of a good story and the terrifying limits of our own understanding. What do you think? It's incredible to see how these three figures, two fictional and one all too real, are so deeply intertwined in the story of crime and detection. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history and literature. See you next time.